Hey guys, it's Bobby. This is the post that I've been wanting to put up for a little while now. This is a crash course history lesson in Chi-Chi, everything about her from the moment I got her. Um, I'm doing this because uh, I want people's opinions on this that have something uh, to say that might actually give me some insight to change my mind or to continue on the path that I'm going more assuredly. Come here, Cheech. Watch out for the edge of the bed, baby. So this is Chi-Chi. She's a little over 3 years old. I rescued her back in October. She came off of Craigslist. She was $50. She was feisty. She was, what other terms did they use? Not good with children or other dogs. Everything you'd expect a dog to be if you wanted to buy a cheap dog to use her for a bait dog or something else, at least in my mind. So I drove down to North Carolina to save her. It turns out she was abused. She was being housed by a high school girl who could not afford to keep her, but she pulled her out of an abusive situation that she herself had witnessed. Chi-Chi spent the first night driving home. We didn't get very far. We actually stayed in North Carolina. She spent the first night behind the toilet, curled up in a ball. It was really sad and pathetic. And I may put a collage of pictures and videos together after this post so you guys can see everything I'm talking about. The next morning we packed the car up. It was a struggle. She bit me to get her in the car. But by the end of the ride home, she was on my lap and slept in bed with me that night. And over the next month, much like every one of the other littles here, we just fell in love. She bonded with me. She slept in bed almost every night. I even have a video of her going to work with me one day, her and Harley, and I had fed them their treat of eggs and bacon. And Chi-Chi, for those of you that have seen Zoe talk to me, Chi-Chi just annihilated the amount of talking that Zoe does. She had a full-blown conversation and she was just so happy and I was happy and everything was great in the world. Shortly after that, I took her into the vet to get all her blood work done, vaccinated, everything. This is when I found out she was heartworm positive. First stages, and I gotta admit, I knew absolutely nothing about heartworms, and even right now, I know the 3 different types of medicines, one that's in the heart guard, that's the lower dosage of the injections, and then the dioxys, what I can't even pronounce it, the pills. So I'm aware of these things now, but I knew nothing about heartworms when I took her in. I was given 2 different options. One was a fast kill, and one was a slow kill. And I even, I asked the doctor, she said she was in the early stages of heartworm. She was at stage 1. She was young, pretty strong. I didn't get all the full information right away, other than that the shots were very invasive and they were going to put her under anesthesia. Okay, well that sounds good to me. Let's put her under because I don't want her to feel the pain of the shots, and let's get it done in a month's time period, and then we're done with that and move on with our lives. Sounds like a simple plan. They started her, she couldn't have the shots for a month because they started her on the dioxycycline or dioxicide or whatever it's called, and she was literally on the pills for 2 days in bed, and in the middle of the night starts yelping out in what seemed to be a seizure. I thought it was due to starting the heartworm medicine. And she had another one shortly an hour later. I didn't know if one of the other dogs had lit into her. But the one that she had a half an hour later, she was literally laying up by my head and hadn't been moving and just started screaming out of nowhere. Over the course of the next 2 days, her health deteriorated very quickly to where I didn't know what was going on. I took her back into the vet. I thought maybe she had an allergic reaction to the medicine. She was stiff as a board, and even now, I'm going to give you a little bit of an example. It's okay, I'm just going to pick you up for a second. Watch how she handles being picked up. See how stiff and rigid her body goes? Like she doesn't like it. She's not comfortable. Reason behind this is I had to take her to a specialist to find out that she's got a, what's the word, from congenital birth defect in her C1, the very top vertebrae into her spine, into her skull. It protrudes in between the C1 and the C2, and you want some belly rubs, and causes, I guess, a pinched nerve effect. Psychologically, this has taken Chi-Chi back to square one, where she associates that pain with me now, and even associated with Connie, and at the time there wasn't any other girls working with us, but even after a couple of days wouldn't let Connie come near her. So I take her down to get her looked at. We were going to plan on having an MRI. Was going to even have surgery get ready and scheduled. I put a GoFundMe page up, which, you know, everybody was kind enough to donate. I think I got $440 on the GoFundMe for Chi-Chi's MRI. Well, she didn't have the MRI. The appointment still cost me more than $600. And the reason she couldn't have the MRI is because they have to put her under anesthesia. And it's at this time I now find out that if you have heartworms and you're heartworm positive, the stress on the heart being under anesthesia could kill the dog. Which then begged the question to me, why was my doctor originally recommending putting her under anesthesia to administer the shots for heartworms? So then my thought process went to, this poor dog's going to have to live with this, and we're going back to the slow method. Puckers. Here, give everybody a quick little view of Pock and baby Pock.
Where is the baby? Oh.
She's in there somewhere. Oh, she's right behind
She's blending in with her back.
All right, so there's a quick break. So anyway, back to Chi-Chi. I decided to put her on HeartGuard, which she's now been on for over 6 months. Because of this episode yesterday, everything with Chi-Chi is amplified as far as her health. She's very delicate. When she tanks very quickly. And this happened yesterday. It wasn't just throwing up. It wasn't just lethargic. She looked like skin and bones. And she can do that quickly when she doesn't feel well. So I rushed her back to my vet. Whereas talking to the vet last night, and I absolutely love them. Every doctor I've spoken to there has been informative. They've been helpful. They've been energetic and excited to work with me. As many of you know that have donated to them, they're just really great people willing to work. They're very knowledgeable. She informs me that there is a way to give her these injections, and to do it with a local anesthetic and an opioid, which again, none of that I'm really happy with either, you know, putting her on opiates, but of course she's not a human, so she can't get addicted. And basically she'll be lethargic, she'll be kind of out of it, but we'll do the fast kill method, and God willing, if it doesn't kill her, because that's the other side effect of these shots, is that they could kill her. You know, if it doesn't kill her, she would literally be done with the shots in 2 months, because I do one shot right away as soon as she's better, and then another 2 shots a month later within a 24-hour period. So it's very intrusive or very invasive. And then it takes an additional 6 months for the heartworms that have died off, the pathogens that are in them or whatever, to clear out of her system so that she's clear. This has an 89% success rate. I do not know what the success rate is for the HeartGuard. However, I do know that even after a year, there's no set time frame. She could be taking HeartGuard for a year and still not be free of heartworms, and then she'd still have to wait the 6 months. So you either take her off for 6 months, which allows the heartworms to continue to regrow and repopulate, or you continue on that. Now she's on it for 18 months just to see, and you're continually administering poison to the dog. Not to mention her quality of life now over 18 months minimum before we can even get to an MRI, before we can get to a surgery to fix the condition in her neck, even begins. She's going to spend the better part of the next 2 years in pain and living the way she is. So this video, to me, I'm looking for any advice. Either way, I have talked myself into putting her through this and going back to the fast kill method. Even though it's extremely invasive, she's going to be in a lot of pain. It's going to break my heart, and God forbid something happens to her. But compared to the option of the what ifs and how long and the quality of life she's going to have for the indefinite future going the other way, it almost seems like this is the better option. So I'm going to say this in writing on the post itself. I welcome any educated opinions and intelligent comments for or against. Oh, and the other most important thing, another reason I held off on doing the fast kill is I'm not going to call them quacks. I'm not going to call them crazy, because I do believe in holistic healing. I don't like to use the word holistic. I like to believe in natural remedies for things. A lot of the stuff we do with their dog food, which I'm going to actually do a demonstration video tomorrow. Many people are asking how I keep the dog so healthy, weight-wise and so forth. It's a series of things I'm going to go through tomorrow. I found out that all of these things, while helping boost their immune systems and making them stronger, not a cure-all or a cure for certain things like heartworms. I've been told by numerous people both privately through Messenger and in comments on the pages, that there is a way to holistically or naturally kill heartworms. If any of you people are out there and you know concrete evidence of this and you can point me in the direction, please do so, because otherwise it's all BS. I've looked, I've researched, I've tried to find it, and I've asked numerous doctors. I've had vet techs, that have messaged the page that work for doctors, and they've all said the same thing. Like, no, there's no such thing as anything other than this damn poison to kill these heartworms. And unfortunately, you're poisoning your dog. Somebody commented on a post earlier today, I'm going to coin their term. It's a necessary evil at this point, and I just want to know I'm doing the right thing by giving her that high dosage of it instead of a long-term low dosage, which is at first what I thought was better. But this poor girl deserves a better quality of life, and we got to get her fixed. So please comment away. I look forward to hearing anything you guys have to say. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Chi-Chi thanks you too. Isn't that right, baby girl? My little baby. I know, you're so cute.